All right, folks, Steve Alcorn here with you once again, and today we're going to show you the proper way, or at least the way I do it, how to clean an item and get it ready, a very dirty item. This is very dirty. Uh, Clean it and get it ready to sell on eBay. So, as you can see, this is an Oster, or not an Oster, yeah, it is an Oster. Golden A5 single speed. This thing can go anywhere from 40 to 70 or 80 or $90 on eBay. It's a pet hair trimmer. This one happens to have a number 15, as you can see, number 15 blade on it. But also, as you can see, it's pretty dirty. So I'm going to show you the way I would go about cleaning this up and getting it ready to sell on eBay. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So you need some tools. First, obviously a cleaning rag. This is a microfiber cloth. I believe I got these at Dollar Tree. Very soft, very nice, but it doesn't have to be a microfiber for this particular job. You may need some Q-tips. This is always good to have. The 91% isopropyl. It's hard to get right now during the crisis. However, you can use 50% for this particular type of job. I use it because it's safe on electronics, and this is an electronic item. I'll put that back over here. Always good to have some water handy. I got a little squirt bottle of water. Always a toothbrush, a screwdriver. This is a Phillips head because that's what this thing takes. I always have a little bit of these in case I need them, a little grabbers, I call them. I know they're not grabbers. And a variety of picks to clean out little small spaces. So these can be found on, I have two cameras going, so it's hard to remember which one I'm supposed to. These can be found on eBay or Amazon or Wish. I think we got these off of Wish or something. I don't remember where we got them. They're $1 or $2, so they're really cheap. These are vinyl picks. These are not metal, so be careful with your metal. And if you have any metal things that need cleaning, steel wool with the soap in it works really, really, really good. So we do have that little metal piece here. The first thing I would do is go ahead and just take this apart. So I'm going to start here and remove all the screws I can find and try to remember where they are. That one's there. I'm going to get a little bucket to put them in. If there are different sizes, I will separate those out. We're taking this all apart, at least as much as we can. I probably won't disassemble the whole thing because look how dirty that is inside. This is I don't know if this even does anything. I think it's just a plate to show what the thing is. I don't think it moves or anything, but there's a lot of hair on it. There's some grease on it. We'll go ahead and clean all that up. This also comes out. You can see down inside. We're not going to monkey too much inside there. We're going to separate that out. I do have a piece of paper on top of, this is my photo taking table that I'm working on. I have some paper on top so I don't get the white background all messed up. It's just packing paper from Walmart. Nothing great. And then we got 2 screws back here. Got to remember the order these things come out. There's not too many screws in this thing, so I'm just going to put them all in the same little bin. Because it's pretty easy to remember where they came from. Pretty gnarly on that side. And this should come off. Yep. And you can see there's a lot of hair in there. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but this is all hair up in here. This piece looks like it comes out too. We're just going to leave that right in there. We don't really need to get that out. This is all pretty gunky in here. So we're going to go ahead and work on all that. We will eventually take this bottom off, check and see if there's anything in there. I'm not going to disassemble it any further. I will get in there, and I'll get in there, try to clean this label up a little bit, and some in here. I don't want to take all the grease off this. I just want to get the dirtiest parts out. Already gunk falling out of it. So that's disassembled. So the first thing I would do is try to get some of this out. So I'm just going to take a dry toothbrush first and just go ahead and look at all that dirt falling out of it. It's all hair, dog hair probably. It's a ton of it. A ton of it. Got it all. This is how you should clean your clippers anyway. You should take them apart every once in a while if you use a beard trimmer or hair clippers at all. Now this is a pet trimmer, but the same procedure works. Looks like we got most of the hair out. That's pretty gunky in there. I'm recording on the Mac today, so it's an older 2011 Mac, and it makes some noise when I'm recording. So if I drop out or that background noise is too bad, I'll try to adjust the audio in post and see if we can get anything good out of it, but it should work. I think I got all the hair out of there. Let's see. A little bit of gunk down in there. So what we're going to do in this part, I don't know if you can see down in there, what we're going to do in there is probably get a Q-tip and see if we can clean out some of the, if there's any big hair spots in there. By the way, these do work. Oh, the oil in there still does good. I'm going to leave the oil that's in there, the grease. I'm not going to re-grease this thing. I'm not taking the old grease out. Just cleaning it up a little bit. I don't have the particular, I do have clipper grease, but I think the stuff that's down inside here is different than the stuff you put on the blade. So I'm not going to do that right now. I will, before I sell it, I'll put some grease on the actual clippers, the clipper part. So take one of these. Oh, this one has a nice little straight edge on it. One of these little deals. Just going to see if I can clean this up a little bit. There we go. It's full of something. You know what? I think that's foam that's in there, supposed to be in there. So we're going to leave that just where it's at. You can see the movement of this. It goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and it causes this piece up here to move back and forth. All right. So now we're going to go ahead. Now I should use two different toothbrushes, but I don't have a second one right now. We're going to try to get this hair out of the way. Ooh, big pile. Look at that. I don't want to reinfect. Then we're going to get the isopropyl out. Now you should put it down in the caps, a little bit down in the cap. So we're going to do that. Set that off to the side. That way you're not contaminating the rest of the isopropyl with this bad, nasty brush that I have. So the first thing I'm going to do is just clean up a little bit in here. I'm not going real crazy. Just getting the excess out. Because this is the mechanical part I don't want to mess with. And then I'm going to turn it over, and then I'll go a little more crazy on this side, where the mechanical parts are not. There are some mechanical parts, but I mean the moving electronic parts. Now that we got all that hair out of there, it's actually pretty easy to go. Pretty easy to go with. A little bit more. Let's see where we're at. Get a little bit. I saw some hair down in there. We're going to try to grab that out of there. And that's good enough for that part. So we're going to take and go a brief clean over the whole entire thing. There's ridges in this thing. I don't know if you can hear them. So there's ridges in it. So we're going to just briefly go over it with this. And then we're going to try to get some of the gunk out of there with one of the picks. All right, so that's pretty good. Let's go ahead and dry it off so we can see where we're at. Most of that gunk came out. There was a bunch of white stuff inside there. You can still see it around the edge there. And we'll get that with a pick. There is some down here too, once this is all dried out. It's already looking better. Look at that. Nice and shiny. So we're going to go ahead and get a different pick. Not the one we just used because I don't like that one. we're going to get one with a nice pointy edge. This one has a nice pointy edge. So we're going to go ahead and go around this line here. It's hard for you guys to make out, but let me see if I can get a better angle. Right in this edge right here, you can see it when I hold it right, but right in here is all white stuff. Try to get, there you go. Now you can see it. It's all white up in that area, right in there. And we're going to try to get that out. This is the hardest part of these kinds of jobs because it takes a while to do. We're going to see if we can rotate the camera just a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Now this pick I don't like, so we're going to try a different one. Oh, we're going to spill things. This one's a little different. Let's try that one. I think this one's too big. If you don't have these picks, you can use a toothpick. This one's got a nice sharp edge on it. There we go. This is never going to be perfect. I think what this is a little bit of paint in there. I don't know how it got in there. These were given to me to resell. Somebody said, hey, maybe you can make some money. I said, sure enough, I'll take it. You can see I'm using my thumb and my forefinger. Black on black is probably hard for you to see, but you get the idea. Let's see where we're at. Get the toothbrush back out. Try to scrub right down in there and see if I got it all loosened. The good thing about isopropyl is it doesn't hurt things as much. There are some things you don't want to use it on. If you got print on something, you probably want to watch it. If it's like a printed right on a product, you might want to be careful. Never use acetone. Acetone eats plastic. It loves plastic. But plastic doesn't love it. And the next good thing about this stuff is that it dries super fast. The cap is already empty. It dried up because I used it all. Okay, I don't know if you can see it, but now it is totally out of there. But I got that big chunk on the side, which is this chunk right here, which is white paint. So we're going to see if we can chip that out of there now. We want these to look as new as possible. Obviously a used item, but we want to give our buyer the best looking product we can find. Paint is a little harder to get out. There we go. There it's going. Got a big chunk of it right there. See if we can take a Q-tip and see if we can rub the rest of that out with some rubbing alcohol on it. So now I got the Q-tip out, just soaking it and rubbing really hard to see if that'll loosen that paint up a little bit. Let it set a little. Try again. If the Q-tip doesn't do it, then we'll go back with the pick again. Got most of it, almost gone. Tiny bit left. Rubbing alcohol is a miracle thing. It loosens things up really nicely. Sticky stuff. You could try lighter fluid on this, the Rosinol lighter fluid. I haven't tried that, but I see some gunk down in there. We're going to go ahead and try to clean that up underneath that thing. This looks really clean in there. I'm not going to take these out for this procedure. We're just going on the outside. Make sure it looks really nice for your customer. So now, it's starting to look a lot better. All the white stuff is out. Anything you see right now is just a glare from the camera. So it looks really nice. There's a little white spot right there. Where is that at? Shows up really good on camera, but not to the naked eye. So I think it's probably a little glitch that the light is hitting. Maybe that's it right there. It's a little glitch. It's a scratch or a dent or a scrape or something. All right, so anyway, all the white stuff is now gone. We're going to go ahead and take this metal clip, this metal piece off, and it just kind of slides out. We'll work on that one in a bit. We're going to go ahead and see if there's anything on the inside on this bottom part that needs cleaned. A couple more Phillips screws. These are really long, apparently. I think that one's out. Really don't want to get into the electronic side of this too much because it does work. I don't want to mess anything up. So we're just checking to see if there's any hair built up in there or anything like that. And I want to see if I can get this screen out too to do something. Okay, so that's what that looks like. It's pretty damn clean actually. And fairly clean. There's a little bit, we're just going to dry brush it out. There's a little bit of hair in there, but nothing major. Dust, actually. I don't think there's even any hair. We don't want to mess with the electronics if we don't have to. Although it's a pretty simple setup. Got 2 Phillips head screws in there. There's one there and one there. And that's your contacts. So that tells it when to be on and when to be off. So we're going to go in here. By the way, this is not plugged in, in case you were wondering. There's almost no dirt in there at all. That's nice and clean. So we're going to go ahead and leave that. Let's see if we can take that screen out. And unless I take this all apart, we're not going to get this screen out of here. So we're going to have to just go ahead and get some isopropyl. I'm just dipping into the container. I don't care. Most of the things I clean are like this, which isn't really going to hurt nothing. We'll just go ahead and go around the whole outside of this, go into that. We're just trying to get it as good looking as possible. There's a little bit. I might have to get in there with the Q-tip. If I can, there it is. Ooh, that Q-tip's already looking pretty good. I still got a little use on it, so we'll go ahead and dip in there. You should use clean stuff for every part of the procedure. You know, I'm just trying to make this look nice. Going right down in the screw holes. Make sure there's no dust down in there. This thing's been sitting in my microwave cart. We got a new microwave this week, and for some reason this was in the cart underneath it, and we had forgotten about it. I probably had it for 2 or 3 years. Somebody gave it to us and said, hey, if you can make some monies, make some monies. It's when we were struggling a little bit more in our eBay Amazon business. Now, of course, we're doing fairly well, so we don't need to do these things. But with the current situation, the virus, the C word, there may come a time where we actually do need to do it. So we're just getting ready some things that we know have some value, and we're going to sell. There's still quite a bit of hair in there. I don't know if you can see that. Look at that. Ugh. If the camera goes out of focus, I apologize. It's really hard to keep it in focus. That's another thing these little things are good for, getting down inside little spaces where you can't get in with anything else. And we're just pulling out any hair or dust that might be in there. Okay, that's all clean. I'm going to go ahead and reinstall that. So we got to make sure to line up the holes. There they are. Looks like this really can only go on one way. There we go. Only goes on one way. Yeah, just one way. That's nice. I'm glad the engineers designed it that way, because lining up screw holes when you can't see them can be a very difficult thing to do. There's one. And there's the other. So we're about ready for reassembly already. This is a pretty quick, easy job. Now, obviously, don't try this on things, taking things apart that you're not super familiar. I'm not super familiar with this, but I'm familiar with this kind of thing enough to know that it's not that hard to take apart. But if you're not familiar with it, then don't do it. If you're not mechanically inclined at all, this is like beginner level stuff, really easy. But if you're not mechanically inclined at all, you might want to just clean the outsides and go with it. So we're going to go ahead and work on these blades real quick. Just isopropyl. We're going to take the rag out so we don't get it all over the place. And just scrub them down with a toothbrush. Make it look really nice. This is the inside blade. Get in there real good. We want this thing to look new if we can. It's not going to look new, but it's going to look nice. All right, so that came out. And then the back side. And then in the blades looks even really, that looks really clean. So that's good. We'll do the outside blade. That thing's pretty rough. It's just old oil and hair. That's all it is. A little more isopropyl. Tried dipping in the lid, but it just doesn't hold enough for me to do. So try to get it so you can actually see what I'm doing. And you don't have to pay a lot for this. You can get a toothbrush at Dollar Tree. You can get these microfiber cloths at Dollar Tree. You can even get isopropyl alcohol at Dollar Tree once this whole thing is over. It's not the greatest isopropyl. It's 50%, but it still does it. The benefit of using it, again, another benefit is that now this will be disinfected. So, a little bit more. I prefer the toothbrush for the most part because it just gets into these tiny little places, these brushes, and it's faster than using a Q-tip and better than using a rag. But it does have its limitations, and I'll show you that. So I don't know if you can see it, but in between these teeth, yeah, you can see that pretty good. There's still a lot of gunk. So we're going to get in there with a pick. And every individual tooth, if the pick fits, you must have quit. No, that's wrong. This pick is a little big. Let's see if the other side's a little smaller. The good thing about these picks is they come in several sizes. So you can get in there really good. But we got to find one that's even a little tinier. It might be this one. Let's try that one. This isn't even a pick. It's more like a straight edge. Got to find the smallest one we got. Smallest one we got. There we go. Getting there. Not working the greatest, but it's working. That's all that matters. I feel like Bob Ross right now. Happy little squirrel. So you say, well, why would you want to do all this work for a sale? Well, this thing is taking me, what, 10, 15 minutes tops by the time I'm done. And it's going to net me at least 50 bucks. And it didn't really, I mean, I'll take 50 bucks. 50 bucks for 15 minutes is a couple $100 an hour. So my picks aren't big enough or small enough to get in all of those. So you can see in that one, there's still a bunch in there. So what I'm going to do, another trick, is, if I can find it. There we go. I have a random business card, and this is actually my dentist, and we're just going to go ahead and go in there with the business card. Oops, it ate my business card. Okay, there we go. A little bit better. These are sharp teeth, so the business card is getting in there really nice. Very nice. Between each tooth, and all that bad nastiness, like this stuff. Look at that. Look how nasty that is. That's some nasty stuff in there. But now you can see in between the teeth is all cleaned out. Now we just got to get a little bit better in these areas right here where I can't get with anything. I might be able to get the business card and go at an angle like this. Let me see if I can show you. See that angle and get in there. It's starting to eat my business card, but that's okay. I might not remember my next dentist appointment. That's all right too. Trying to get into each tooth, cleaning it out. Nobody expects a used pair of clippers to be 100% clean, but we're going to do our best. Now we get in there one more time, the isopropyl, and just scrub. If you go with the teeth, probably get more of the stuff out. The back set of teeth are farther apart, so the stuff comes out a lot easier. Sounds like we got an eBay sale. Nice. I don't know if you guys heard that, but let's see what we sold. Some nasal spray for $12.99. Bought some nasal spray the other day at a place, and it is going for $1.99. I think we paid for it, and we're selling it for $12.99 shipped, which isn't bad. I think I actually might have shipping on that. I don't recall. Not a huge profit, but we got a bunch of them, so we should hope that it sells a lot. So when you have bulk amounts of items, you can charge less and still make good money. The other good benefit here is that now my hands will be sanitized. All right, so let's clean that off a little, dry it off a little. We'll see what our results are. There's still some gunk in there that I can't get to. You can see it there up top. It's on each individual blade. It's not in between the blades. Backside looks fairly nice. So I think what I'm going to try to do is use the steel wool and see if I can get that a little bit cleaner. Steel wool works better if it's wet. I don't want to get a cup of water in here because that will ruin the whole table. So we're just going to wet the edge, and we're going to see if we can go over those teeth and get them cleaner. We can get right into that 15, I think, with this stuff. Clean that up nice. Steel wool shouldn't be used on every kind of metal, but this it should be all right. And if it doesn't work, we're good enough. People expect these to be a little bit off when they buy them, when they're buying used. Let's go to the other side, see what that looks like. Steel wool, you want to go with the teeth if you're cleaning clippers, because it'll just catch up in there. Let's see, get some water on that. Turn it over. Can't get through to my photo table there with the water. I should have been a little more careful, but I think that's actually isopropyl there, so that's not too bad. Well, this is as good as she's going to get. So, good to go. I like the steel wool with the soap in it because it glides easier. Let's see how that looks. A little bit better. Number 15. It says number 51 on your side. For some reason, I'm backwards and I'm not going to change it. So we're going to set that to the side. That one's good. Now we're going to concentrate on cleaning up this mess. That's pretty bad. For the most part, I think I could just use a rag. Let's do the isopropyl to break up that oil a little bit. There we go. Look how nice and clean that's coming already. Pretty. Filthy, but pretty. And I think we're probably pretty good on that. Good thing about using this kind of rag is you can just throw it in the laundry done. And I have on several occasions. I use these rags a lot. I prefer these little microfibers. Wash rags is all they are. And they work really, really good. And they're soft and they won't harm anything. All right, let's see what that looks like. Got some impressions from the blades, but that's okay. This side looks really nice. We'll move on to the label here. This one has to look really nice. That one's underneath, so it doesn't matter as much, but this one has to look nice on the outside. At the end of the video, when I go put this thing back together, I'm going to show you guys a little trick that I learned from video gamers who resell systems on how to make this thing look extra special good. This is coming really nice. Surprised. All right. And again, get the rag out. Clean her up real nice. Let's see what she looks like. And there we go. So now that looks that looks very clean. And the backside doesn't matter as much, but that round spot is an impression from the other plate. So, all right, I think the only thing we have left to clean is this little guy, and he is nasty looking. He's rusty, and you're going to use steel wool on that guy. So we're going to get the steel wool wet. So it activates the soap. And then we're just going to try. I don't know how good this is going to work on this type of metal, but we're going to find out real quick. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. It's okay. You could probably use sandpaper on this guy too. And I might do that, but I don't think so. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect because people expect it's a used item. It's probably from the 80s or 70s, somewhere in that range. I don't think it's much older than that. So they expect a little bit of tarnish. And it'll be fully documented in the pictures. Let's see how this came out. Let's get a little water on it because my hands are getting sticky from the soap. I got the heavy rust off. And it actually looks pretty good. I think we're just going to stay that way. There's a little bit of pitting on the inside. We're okay with that for now. I don't think I have any sandpaper handy, so we're not going to go do that part of it. I'm going to hit it with a little isopropyl to get the remainder of any soap that might be on there. That'll break it all up and make it nice. All right. And then dry it off one more time. This little log that you see here is the rolled up portion of my photo paper. And I should have taken the photo paper off the table first, and I didn't. So we're going to deal with whatever consequences that may be. I roll it up at night, and that's why there's just the remainder of the roll here. All right, now we sold something else. More of that nose stuff. Saline nose spray, apparently. All right, so we're going to clean this whole table off. We're going to get rid of the parts that we don't need right away. We're going to go ahead and try to put this thing back together if we can remember how. So, we're going to do the blades first. This is the inside blade. It has to attach into this little thingy here. So we're going to make sure that gets in there. And you got to remember which way to put them on. There we go. I think that's right. We'll know when we put the outer blade on. The outer blade is easy because it says 15 on the outside, so we know that goes that way. And it was the shorter screws. We didn't clean the screws, but we'll clean those here in a second once we get it back together. And I will oil this before I send it off to the customer. Because you don't want to run dry clippers. It's not good for them. Let's see how that looks. Yep, I think I did that right. Now we'll put the plates back on. I think it goes like that with that little hole right there. And then this one goes on over top of it. And 2 more screws. All right, there you go. Looks a lot better. Nice and clean looking, shiny. So now, told you I'd do a trick at the end. Oh, we forgot to put one more piece on. Got that guy. That just slides right in this little hole here. That might be easier to do from this side first. There we go. And there we go. So it's in there. I guess that's just to hang it up. Might be on the wrong side of the cord. I don't know. It probably is. Let's put it on the other side of the cord. Pretty sure that's how it was. That's if you can hear the truck, that's her son leaving the house. He's got a very loud automobile. I keep all my tools in this guy. Sweetwater Legend. All right. So, nice and shiny. We're going to get some of this nastiness out of here. So, to make this even better looking, now this one looks pretty good, and I probably don't have to do it, but I wanted to show you guys a trick that I learned. WD-40. All right, what do we do with WD-40? No, we're not oiling the thing. WD-40 isn't a great oiler, but it gums up really quick. We're going to use it on the rag. I'm just going to put a squirt on the rag. And we're going to go over this whole thing with it. And it's going to just bring out the shine even more. And this only really works on black. But it brings out the shine really, really good. And makes it look practically brand new. I did this on a game system last night. And it looks fantastic. There's a trick with it. Your hands are going to get a little oily. Now look how shiny that is now. Woo! Baby. Look at that. Go around the bottom. You can even do the cord with it. Cord will look real nice when you're done. See, now look at how nice and shiny that cord is. So then you take a clean rag. Let me get one. This one's not microfiber, but this is what I have within reach, and then you get all the excess off. Don't leave that excess on there. You don't want your customer feeling an oily mess. It kind of like revitalizes the plastic a little bit, makes it look really nice. Make sure you get it off your hands as well. It's not going to work on the metal bits, but it will work on the black plastic. Anything black plastic, like game consoles, works really good on. And then go over the cord a little. And that's the result. So it's looking pretty good. The cord looks really nice, the part I did. And it doesn't feel oily because we got all the oil off. And it looks really, really nice. I'll finish the cord out when I'm done. Try to get it really nice. So now, we took a item that looked really crappy, sorry about the shine, and made it look really nice. So now the moment of truth, does it work? Now I've already plugged this thing in. Not going to run it for very long because there's no oil in it. The blades aren't oiled, but we're going to find out. It may be on already, so we're going to find out. All right. There it is. You can see that inner blade moves. The outer blade does not. And that's all there is to it, folks. That's how you clean something. Doesn't take a lot of work. I spent, what, 15 minutes or so? 20 tops? Let's see, is there a timer on my video? I don't see a timer on my video. I don't know how long I spent on this, but it wasn't very long. And it worked really good. I got a little oil on my computer, so I'm cleaning it off. Worked really good. And now the customer is going to be a lot happier with it. Even though they didn't get to see what it looked like before, they're going to be a lot happier with it now than they would have been had they gotten a nasty looking piece of crap. So thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell notification. Sweetwater out.